Okay, bear with me, because this is gonna be a long one. By the way, if you have not seen the last 2 episodes, do not watch this because it's gonna be full of spoilers. So, Lego, the Doctor falls. Except he doesn't. I have said this a few times, but I was not and I'm not ready for Peter Capaldi to regenerate. Like, the entire time he was saying, I don't want to go, and no. I was with him the entire way. Like, I don't want you to go either. I want you to say you're a fantastic doctor. But he is gonna go. And I had mentioned this, that I wondered whether he was gonna regenerate in this episode or the Christmas episode. And I'm gonna love that his entire Christmas episode is gonna be him just fighting his regeneration, which is a very doctorish kind of thing to do. I also want the Christmas episode to be sort of like going crazy, like last hurrah kind of thing, and not a very angsty, like, oh, I'm gonna die for an entire hour. Because we've already had that with this episode, kind of. I mean, we knew that it was gonna happen, so he's had the leading up to the regeneration kind of episode already. Now I have one main criticism of this episode, and that is that it's too long and it's also too short. It had a very slower pace than the last episode. The last episode was very tension filled. This had a much slower pace. And because of that, I say it's too long, but also I feel like it's very short. Like, it could have been a 3-part story arc. I kind of wanted that to happen because John Sim, I feel like they didn't use him enough. Him and Missy were a side story. And when you have that amazing connection, because they really did have an amazing connection, every scene they had with each other was brilliant, you want to explore that more. Maybe if they had done it more, it would have been not as good, but I refuse to believe that. I think it would have been great, and they could have had an actual story. But given what we actually had, it was still brilliant. I mean, technically, it could have gone the same without the Master coming back, but the ending that they had was perfect. It fit perfectly. And it's because the entire season we're like, we want Missy to be better. We want her to become good. But at the same time, the second she stands with the Doctor, it's over. She's not the Master anymore. She has become another good Time Lord. And as much as you want that, you just can't have that. And the way they ended it, with them actually killing each other, was brilliant. It was the perfect solution to an impossible outcome. Like, she both did change and want to stand with the Doctor, but she never actually got to that point. And that is so neat. And I love that. I mean, technically, she's supposed to be dead, but we all know that the Master is gonna come back in some way or form. He's never gonna actually be gone, you know. Although it will be a shame that Michelle Gomez is not gonna be Missy anymore, because she was brilliant as Missy. Have I mentioned it before that I love Michelle Gomez? I might have, once or twice, or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 times. I've said it a lot, okay? But moving back to Bill. Now, the entire episode, my main focus was on Bill And will she be human again? Or will she be fixed? I mean, I was, kind of looking out for the Doctor regenerating, but maybe I was just deliberately ignoring that because I didn't want to deal with it. But the entire time I was like, is she going to be human again? The second we got her in the barn, we saw that she was lying there. There was a tiny bit of me that hoped that, yeah, okay, she's fixed. But when you make that big of a deal, when you turn a companion into a Cyberman, you just don't skip it 2 weeks and make her a human again. It has to be a big thing. And I'm kind of glad that it wasn't the Doctor that fixed her, because the Doctor really wanted to fix her. You saw that scene that they had in the field, like, were you lying? No. Were you wrong? Yes. And that is such a great thing. Like, she can't hate him for it. I mean, she can't hate that he wasn't there sooner, but she can't hate him because she knows that if he could help her, he would. And in this very short time, like in one season, they have become such close friends. And I kind of want Bill to come back. And I don't mean like as the way like Martha came back or Rose came back, like for two. I want her to still be the companion. I mentioned this in my first video, like what I want from this season, and one of the things that I was worried about was Bill's reaction to the Doctor regenerating. But I did not bear in mind that Bill will also be leaving at the end of this episode too. But even though I think that Bill is a great companion, it might be because of the connection that she has with the Doctor. Peter Capaldi has a great chemistry with everyone. He has a great chemistry with Bill, with Nardole, with Missy, hell, even with the Master, who technically he's never confronted before. I mean, in this regeneration, but he still has that great chemistry with him. And the scenes that those three have with each other, especially the first scene, oh, that was gorgeous. I mean, this episode and the last, I'm counting both of them as one episode. It's easier. I don't want to compare them. I want it to whole be one story, and the entire story is very good. And you might not believe this, but I have not been able to find a plot hole. In fact, it actually filled a couple of plot holes. The whole Cyberman thing. Because we have had a sort of continuity problem with the Cybermen, and they just like, parallel evolution, deal with it. It actually filled a plot hole. So, but as for actually how Bill became human again, well, became not a Cyberman again, Heather. This is my actual reaction to that moment. What? Heather. Oh my god. Yeah. It kind of makes me want to watch the whole first episode again. I mean, I'm gonna watch the entire season again because, well, we don't have any more Doctor Who till Christmas, so, And this time, I don't want Christmas to come. I want Peter Capaldi to still be the Doctor for a very long time. The last episode was a brilliant episode as a whole. Like, the whole thing was good, but this episode had a lot of great moments. Like the Master and Missy moment, the first moment with Master, Missy, and the Doctor, the Bond scene in the field, the goodbye scene with Nardole. They were all really good scenes, and they just made it. I cried like a baby during half the episode. I'll admit that. And I don't know how we're gonna go into next season, because it's the same thing that happened when Moffat took over. They sort of like got rid of everything and everyone and then started anew. I feel like there should be some sort of continuity, like some sort of anchor and link that links us from this season to that season, from this era to that era. And when you like pack your bags completely and take everything you've created with you, it makes it harder to adjust. Like, Matt Smith was the Doctor for a really long time, and it took me like right up till the last season for me to actually accept him as a Doctor. While I accepted David Tennant instantly, I accepted Peter Capaldi instantly because there was a link between them. I haven't actually mentioned it here before, but Matt Smith is not one of my favorite Doctors. I never got that connection with him, and I will make a whole video about why and various reasons, but to do that I have to rewatch all of his series, and just because he's not my favorite Doctor does not mean I'm not gonna do that. It's still Doctor Who. But I did kind of wish that at least Bill would still be on board here and take us to the next season. But we're not gonna get that. We're gonna get a new Doctor, a new companion, probably a new TARDIS, a new Screwdriver. I hope I don't get a new Screwdriver because I really like this Screwdriver. And it's gonna be a whole new thing. We've gotta get a new writer, and I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel.
Is Chibnall taking over?
I mean, I like the stuff that he's done on Torchwood and other episodes that he's done during Doctor Who, but he did not have the consistency that Stephen Moffat had. Because Stephen Moffat writes single episodes really well. Like when Russell T Davies was the showrunner, Stephen Moffat wrote great episodes. But he wasn't great as a showrunner. I mean, he was okay as a showrunner, but technically every single arc that he did was the Doctor was gonna meet his doom, so it got a little, repetitive.
Yes, Chibnall.
Has some good episodes and has some not so good episodes. But maybe it's like a reverse thing and he's gonna be a great showrunner. So, season 10. I'm going to rewatch the entire season and then I'm going to rank the episodes. There might be a lot of similar rankings. There might be a 1 and 1.5 because that's how I rank. It's difficult for me to rank, but I'm gonna do it. But until then, like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.